This video is how to create an MSA template in Quantum Excel. Creating the MSA template is optional. You can do an MSA in Quantum Excel without creating the template, but many users find it's much easier to use the template. Create the template, click on QXL Stat Tools, then MSA, and then Create MSA Template. First question Quantum Excel will ask you is what kind of data do you have? Do you have quantitative or qualitative data? MSAs can be performed with both quantitative and qualitative data. Quantitative data would be things like temperature, pressure, time, humidity, whereas qualitative data is typically pass-fail data. When you've selected the type of data that you would like, click on Next. The next question is, do you have reference values for the parts or do you not have reference values? Reference values are sometimes called a known standard or the true value of a part. For example, if you're measuring the pH of a solution, you can buy reference solutions. So for example, you could buy a pH solution that is 4.01 pH, and therefore you would know the true value of that part. Most of the time you do not have reference values, so I will click on I do not have reference values. Then you can choose the number of operators, the number of replicates, and the number of parts. The number of operators is also sometimes called the number of appraisers. The number of replicates is sometimes called the number of trials, and the number of parts is usually called the number of parts. The typical size recommended by AIAG is 3 operators or appraisers, 3 replicates or trials, and 10 parts. When ready, click Finish. On Excel, will then create a template for you. The information at the top of the template is all optional. So for example, the gauge name, the number, the type, all this information is up to you. You do not have to enter it in order to perform an MSA. The spec limits are also theoretically optional. However, if you do not enter the spec limits, then some of the statistics will not be available. Most of the time, you're going to enter the spec limits and type in something, for example, like 103 is the upper spec limit and 97 is the lower spec limit. And at the bottom is where you would perform your MSA. So you would take part 1 and give it to operator 1, get a measurement. For example, they measured it at 98.9, and then type that data point in. And then, of course, this should all be randomized. It should be randomized within operator, between operators. But as you collect the data, then type the data in to Quantum Excel. And then after you fill out the entire template, you're ready for the analysis. And that is how you create an MSA template in Quantum Excel.